G'day, Steve Morgan, Fishing Monthly Magazine's on the Gold Coast in the wake of Mercury's dealer conference for 2023. We've got access to all of the motors and boats that the dealers had access to. Simon Bajaya, you were integral in helping to put a lot of these boats together, and there are some pretty cool rigs on the water, weren't there?
Yeah, there is.
This one we're in at the moment, it's a Whittley SL, a Whittley Sea Legend, 25-footer, made in Melbourne. Simon, this is a hull that Whittley have done for many years. We've tested it with different iterations of motors on it, but this one has sort of been blinged up for the Mercury conference. It looks pretty cool, doesn't it?
It has, yeah. They put a lot of time and effort into it for the dealer conference.
Two components of this rig, I suppose. There's the brand new Mercury 5.7 litre V10 outboard on the back, but then there's also the blinged out boat. So we're going to talk about both of those components. Simon, you're one of Mercury's technical experts on these motors. Let's have a chat about what I think is the smoothest, the quietest motor in the Mercury range. It's a V10, fits in between that V6 and V8 platform and the V12 platform. They were a bit of a dealer favourite, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, like V8 were really quiet and smooth, as you know, but this just brought it to another level.
It seems that that every single V10 comes with that AMS, that advanced midsection that you used to only get on the Verado iterations of the motors. How do you think that AMS affects the ride?
Oh, I think it's ultimate. It's best MVH, noise, vibration, harshness in class. It's got all those Verado benefits that we saw in the V8 Verado.
And like the V8s, on the Verado model, you can actually toggle between sports exhaust and this really quiet mode. That motor's running right now, but the sports exhaust just sounds cool, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Tell us about the options for steering. Mercury have released their new electric steering, but this one's fitted with the electric hydraulic steering. What's the difference between the two?
Yeah, so this was, as you say, option with electro-hydraulic. It's what they decided to go with. It's what we currently had been running on our Verado range in V8. It runs an electro-hydraulic pump, which has to be mounted in the boat, with power steering lines that have to run up to the helm and back, where we also now have the full electric ram option, which doesn't incorporate any steering pumps, no hoses. The ease of fitting for an OEM or boat builder is really noted. Like, it's a real time saver.
And that the electric steering gives you features that you don't have on the electro-hydraulic, like?
Correct. It gives you autopilot with adding a GPS heading sensor to it, as in a puck.
Yep.
It gives you autopilot.
Tell us about the new, bigger, meatier gearboxes on these on the V10s. They've sort of beefed up what was on the V8s. They haven't toned down the technology that was on the V12s. What does that big gearbox and the associated propellers do for like a boat like this?
Okay, so we go to a 6.4 inch gearbox, where our V8 product was a 5.4, which was still a big gearbox and durable. And it allows us to run a 18-inch diameter 4-blade propeller, which is unique for V10 only.
Yep.
And that just sort of really puts the boat up on top of the water at lower RPM and lower speeds, and gives you phenomenal top-end speed.
And it seems to translate the torque, which is endemic to the V10s, right through to the throttle. You can feel it when you're out on the water. We were just doing the numbers on this one. Man, it's a punchy motor.
It is, yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the throttle in this boat. It's the next-gen throttle. Of course, we're familiar now with DTS, the digital throttle and shift, but just tell us some of the features of that next-generation throttle.
Yeah, so next-gen DDS, it's been out a little while now. It's only on V10 only. You have to have next-gen DTS.
Yep.
It incorporates active trim, so all you need is a GPS source, which most boats have.
Yep.
And you have active trim, so straight off without adding any other modules to the boat. It's got start-stop functionality on it and so on.
Yep. And what it does is, I think it clears a lot of the bits and pieces that were on your dash now become incorporated in that throttle body, and leaves the room for it to either look better or to have different gear on there.
Yeah. So it frees up a lot of real estate behind the dash, where other modules and components can be fitted.
Now this boat, it seems to be fitted in. It's like blacked out for the dealer conference. It's got it's like a reverse of what normally happens on the rubber flooring. It's a black flooring with a beige see-through. It's a very social seating in this boat. You've got the two Helm seats that look forward, but then looking backward, you've got those social seats in it. This is like typical Whittley. It's got all the comfort. It's got a fridge. It's got the running fresh water. It's got a big cabin up the front with a sliding lockable door on it. And it's actually a bit of a walk around. You can get around to the front quite easily, as opposed to a normal cabin boat. It's not a walk around, but you can get around the front. So I know it's turning a lot of heads on the Gold Coast. We're going to go out and go for another run in it, shoot a little bit of footage, and come back to you with some of the performance statistics. So there you go, there's the Whittley SL25 powered by the V10 5.7 litre 400 horsepower Mercury Verado on the back, and there is an abundance of power in this rig. The cool thing about this boat is we've tested this hull with various iterations of engines before. We've tested it with twin 150 non-Mercury motors, we've tested it with a V8 300 horsepower motor, and now with the V10 400 horsepower. And it's interesting to see the different performance statistics. I'm going to put them up on the screen so that you can sort of analyse them as we go through, but let's have a look at how it goes. The first time we tested this with twin 150 non-Mercuries, top speed of 81 kilometres an hour at 6,000 RPM, 0.7 of a kilometre per litre. Next time we did it was with the V8 300, 5,900 RPM, it got 0.8 of a kilometre per litre, so the economy was slightly better, and 79 kilometres an hour top speed, so around the same top speed for the same horsepower. But then whack the 400 on the back and all of a sudden we get 91 kilometres an hour at 6,300 RPM, slightly less economical, 0.71 of a kilometre per litre, but that's expected for a bigger motor that's running at around that 120 to 130 litres an hour mark at wide open throttle. But back in the economical range is where it gets a little bit more interesting. The twin rig at 3,500 RPM, 1.15 kilometres per litre. At 3,500 RPM, the V8 300, 1.2 kilometres per litre. But the winner for most economical boating is actually the 400 V10. 3,000 RPM, it delivers 27 kilometres an hour at 1.33 kilometres per litre. So it might be a little bit counterintuitive. You may have thought the twin rig might have been the one for the best economy, but no, this V10 Mercury is the one that delivers it. Might be a combination of that big gearbox, the big diameter propeller that's specifically made for this motor, and the fact that it works well with this SL25 hull. This boat's been turning heads for all week at the Gold Coast. Some of my comments are the seating is very high in it. It seems like you're sitting a little bit higher than normal. As a passenger, it's a little bit daunting when your feet can't hit the floor, and a little bit strange that there's no passenger, I suppose, glove box or dashboard where you can keep your stuff. There's a little bit of storage on the left-hand side, but it's just a little bit different from normal boats. The helm is well organised like all Whittley helms. It's got those great customised push button switches, flush mount large MFDs. I really like the social side of Whittley boating. It's these lower seats that are behind the helm are really good to sit down and either watch your rods as you're soaking your bait, or drop a table in, some of the drop-in chairs, and you can sit 4 people having a beer, watch the sun go down over Gippsland Lakes. Whatever floats your boat when it comes to the social side of boating. Love, of course, also that you can get around the side of this boat to the front, so when you want to jump off, you can jump off from the bow, or of course, like all Whittleys, there is a very ample duckboard section here with a boarding ladder. No transom door per se, and this is a little slide-in piece, but no door per se, but very easy to get in and out of the boat if you're taking the kids for a swim, doing whatever. More information on this rig, go to whitley.com.au, and for more information about this beast, check out your nearest Mercury dealer.